Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sarah and this is B.fleye Beauty, and today I wanted to go through some of my favorite eye brushes. I do have a previous video on my favorite face brushes, and if I knew how to link it up in the eye, I would do it, so we shall see. If not, I'll put it down below. I do have more eye brushes than I did face brushes. So, and they are a mix of low end and high end, so it's really easy to kind of dupe these out. The first one I want to talk about are a couple of weird ones, and they are just getting a spoolie for your eyebrows. Get something that's not connected to a, like I do have one that's connected to a, what's it called? Eyebrow pencil. And these are really great, but if you don't have one of those, just having a clean spoolie is really nice to push your brows up with, and sometimes even brush through your lashes. My other kind of weird one, and I think this is more for if you do work on other people, is to take a very stiff fan brush and you cut the top off, and you can use this to paint on your mascara, and it's really good to get at the base of the lash and to come up. So those are two things that maybe you don't have to have but might be good to have in your little arsenal. Number 27 is just having a regular small shadow brush. And this one is one of my first brushes I ever had in my kit. This is a Merle Norman eyeshadow brush, but you can just see that it's a very, yeah, let me put this up against my black gloved hand. You can see how small that is. And I like these smaller ones because they work on packing on a shadow in a smaller area, and you can do a wash of color with this, and it's good for people with hooded lids like I have, or that have more space. So a smaller brush kind of works for everybody, whereas a big brush doesn't always work for a smaller lid. Now if you're only doing work on yourself, get, you know, the size that is more suited for your eye size. And next I have two kind of fluffy brushes. One my aunt got me. I've always been kind of wary of buying one of these because they're so expensive, but I have to say that they are worth it. This is the Hakuhodo. I'll put it up against because for some reason you can really see the size there. This is a J550. It's already worn off, so I'll put this one down below. So this is a little bit of a smaller fluffy. I use this on every single person. I can use this brush for a whole entire eye look, unless I'm doing like a little shimmer on the center, and I would use this, pull in a second brush, but I can do almost a whole entire eye look with this. Pull my glasses off. Because it's a smaller fluffy brush, it works on my eyes as well as a bigger eye. But anything bigger than this is a little too much for me unless I am using it to buff in, which is where the next brush comes in. And I have a Hakuhodo brush, and this one is a J5522, and you can see the difference in size here. Right, so this is the first one, and then this is a more fluffy brush. And the fluffier brush you use to kind of blend out, put a transition color in the crease. And then there's one by Wet n Wild that's just as lovely, actually. And I think this is like $2. So this you could get instead of this big fluffy Hakuhodo brush. Eyebrow brush. I really like this one. I think this one's also a Merle Norman one. Let me see. Yes. Just a traditional eyebrow brush. It's a little bit of a harder, this is not something you would use for eyeliner, but this is really nice to just fill in the brows with a powder. It's not going to give you a super defined brow, but it's more of a fluffy look. This is my favorite eyebrow. For eyeliner, I actually kind of like this one. This is a painter's brush, not a makeup artist brush. I have gone and done the same thing. This is a Low Cornell shader number 4, and it's stained with eyeliner, but it's a tiny, tiny synthetic brush that is really easy to pull in a straight line, and I use this for liquid and gel liner. Then this is one of my favorites. I always think, oh, I can do without that one. But this is a Coastal Scents brush, and I think you can find something similar. But Coastal Scents is really affordable. I think I got this in a pack. And so what I use this one for is it's this very thick, I don't know if you can see that. It's a very thick, dense brush, but it's at an angle. So what I do is I take that and I actually place it on the angle of my eye. And then I either go in like this or I do opposite and like pull it in right on the corner. It just creates a nice little corner smoke. It doesn't have to be like a smoky color, but just creating that corner color really easily because it actually has the slant already on it. Then there are a couple of these. Something sort of like this is necessary in my kit. This harder, more synthetic brush is nice to do because it's a little stiffer. I can put it perfectly right here for my inner corner highlight. But the softer one is a little bit better. So you could probably do with one of these, but I use both. And this is just a more pinpointed crease color. So you're not gonna get as fluffy, as soft as a blend. You're gonna get a more direct lined color there. And if you have a smaller eye, these are nice because they really get into your crease without getting all the way up to your eyebrow. So these are kind of a one or the other, both if you can afford them. Again, one's synthetic and one's traditional. And then same thing here, something like this, a more synthetic brush that's kind of hard. I don't know if you can see these, put them up against my cheek, seems to be good. And I use these for shimmers, and it just really packs those shimmers on really, really well. And then it can also take, when you spray a setting spray on them or wetting them, it doesn't get really gooey, it stays hard, so it's easy to pack that shimmer on. And last but not least, this is a very, very, very tiny pencil brush. You can get a really hard one like this. Okay, and this you can really use to buff out the lower lash line and really pinpoint color, but this is a hard synthetic one. So I guess it's kind of like the same situation with the other two. You could probably do one or the other, but I actually like to have both because this is a harder, more dense brush. So you're getting a harder line, and this is a very tiny, more flat, but it's soft. So it's bendable and you can really buff the color in. So you can get a very harsh, direct line, distinct line, but then because it's soft, you can use it to blend out a little bit. Whereas this one, you get that hard line, but it's harder to blend out because it's a synthetic packed in brush. So again, you want a pencil brush. You want a medium-sized crease brush that's not fluffy. You want a synthetic flat brush for shimmers. You want some sort of liner brush. A synthetic is really nice. You could even do something that's more at an angle that you can use also for your eyebrows and your eyeliner. I really like painter brushes. Having something that's at an angle is really helpful to get into the corners really well, and it kind of creates that shape very easily. A small shader brush, just a traditional eyeshadow brush. A big fluffy brush for blending. A smaller fluffy brush to really get into the crease and to pinpoint that color, especially for a smaller lid. A spoolie. And this one, I guess you don't actually have to have, but this is really nice to paint on mascara, especially if you have fake lashes on, to really get in the base. And then of course an eyebrow brush. And those are my essential eye brushes. They are the ones that I use in my kit and on myself. And just remember, you do not have to have all of these, but this would give you a rounded kit and you probably wouldn't need much else. So let me know below what your favorite brushes are, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.